Welcome to Celebrity Spotlight Radio, the show where we bring you the latest news and views from the final frontier. Today, we have a special report on a recent spacewalk by two Russian cosmonauts who encountered a coolant leak on the International Space Station. On Wednesday, October 25th, Oleg Kononenko and Nikolai Chub ventured outside the Poisk airlock to perform some maintenance tasks on the Nauka module, a new addition to the Russian segment of the station. Nauka, which means science in Russian, is a multi-purpose laboratory that was launched in July this year and docked to the station in August. One of the tasks that Kononenko and Chub had to do was to install a small synthetic aperture radar antenna on the hull of Nauka. This antenna is part of a joint project between Russia and Germany to study the Earth's surface and atmosphere using radar waves. However, things did not go as smoothly as planned. As they were working on the antenna, they noticed that one of its 4 panels did not fully deploy and lock in place. They tried to fix it, but they could not get it to work properly. They decided to leave it as it was in hope that it would be adjusted in a future spacewalk. But that was not the only problem they faced. As they were moving around Nauka, they spotted a leaking radiator that was attached to the module. The radiator was part of a cooling system that was supposed to keep Nauka at a comfortable temperature. It was originally launched with another module called Rasvid in 2010. But it was not activated until this year when Nauka arrived. The leak was first detected on October 9th, when ground controllers saw flakes of frozen coolant escaping from the radiator. The coolant was a mixture of water and ethylene glycol, a common antifreeze agent. The leak was not serious enough to affect Nauka's main cooling loop, but it was still a concern for the station's safety and efficiency. Kononenko and Chub were instructed to isolate the radiator from the coolant line and take pictures of the leak site to help engineers figure out what caused it. They also had a cloth towel with them to wipe up any excess coolant that might have pooled around the radiator. But as they approached the radiator, they saw something unexpected. A large bubble of coolant had formed around a connection between 2 radiator panels. The bubble was too big to be absorbed by the towel, and it posed a risk of contaminating their spacesuits or equipment. Kononenko reported that some of the coolant had splashed onto his safety tether, which connected him to the station. He said he did not feel any wetness on his suit, but he was told to move away from the radiator immediately. He secured his tether in a bag and followed procedures to make sure his suit was clear of any contamination before he re-entered the station. The cause of the leak is still unknown, but it could have been due to a micrometeorite impact or some other damage to the radiator. It was the third coolant leak that the Russians had experienced in less than a year, after similar incidents with a Soyuz spacecraft and a Progress cargo ship. Despite these challenges, Kononenko and Chub managed to complete one more task before they wrapped up their spacewalk. They released a small student-built nanosatellite called Sirius Sat-2 from Nauka's experiment airlock. The satellite was designed to test a solar sail propulsion system that could enable future spacecraft to travel using sunlight. However, the solar sail did not deploy as expected, and the satellite remained inactive. It was another disappointment for the cosmonauts, who had hoped to see their project succeed. After 6 hours and 16 minutes outside, Kononenko and Chub returned to the Poisk airlock and closed the hatch behind them. It was Kononenko's 6th spacewalk and Chub's first. They are scheduled to perform another spacewalk in December, along with another crewmate, Anton S.H. Kaplerov. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more updates from the world of space exploration. Until next time, keep looking up.